Hello, very good day to you. After a bit of a tease with some drier weather on Friday, it's not good news if that's what you're after for the weekend's forecast, as it is going to turn more unsettled again. Looking at the jet stream, and as we've seen through much of the last few weeks, it is generally running from west to east and across the UK, and it's this that's led to a number of low pressure systems coming across the UK through recent times. Nothing out of the ordinary for the time of year, though it has been particularly stormy. And yes, continuing in that theme as we go into the weekend, that jet stream driving a low pressure system out in the Atlantic, and another weather system that is going to bring some very wet and windy weather. Initially a warm front towards the south, and this does what it says on the tin, and as well as the wind and the rain, we are going to see our temperatures lifting into Saturday. After an initially chilly start to the night Friday into Saturday, we are going to see our temperatures rising, so by the time many of us wake up, particularly towards the southwest, temperatures will already be in double figures. But it is going to be a wet and windy start to the day for many of us. The heaviest rain through the morning likely to be across parts of South Wales and southwest England. Here, with heavily saturated ground, we're likely to see some further issues with a bit more flooding and some disruption to travel. But the heaviest, more persistent rain does clear eastwards as we go through the afternoon. Something a bit drier following in behind across parts of England and Wales, perhaps some brightness, but on the whole it is going to stay quite cloudy, and showery outbreaks pushing in across parts of Scotland and Northern Ireland in particular. Some strong blustery winds, particularly in exposed coastal parts, risk of gales, which will add to that wet and windy theme for many of us. It will also take the edge off the temperatures, which although on paper are a little bit above average for the time of year, with highs around 15 or 16 Celsius for some of us, in the wind it's going to feel several degrees colder than that. As we go into Sunday, and we see that weather system then clearing away towards the east, but we are still heavily under the influence of a deep area of low pressure just to the north of the UK. Tightly packed isobars indicate that it is going to stay windy for many of us, and various occluded features coming across bring the focus of showery rain. So Sunday, yes, it's going to be a showery day for many of us. You'll never be too far away from some dark clouds, with sunshine really at a premium, some brighter spells in between the showers for some of us, but not all by any means. The heaviest showers likely to be across western parts of Scotland, western England into Wales, particularly over the higher ground. We're likely to see some higher totals perhaps building up, even some heavier showers across parts of Northern Ireland, and there's a chance of some thunder mixed in with these, and still those strong gusty winds, gales in exposed parts, perhaps even some gales towards the northeast of the UK later on in the day. Temperatures still a little bit above average for the time of year, but down a degree or two compared to Saturday, with highs around 14 Celsius towards the south and 11 or 12 further north. Then as we go into the beginning of next week, and we do start to see something of a change. The jet stream, which as I mentioned before is currently running from west to east, starts to meander a little bit, and instead as we go through the first few days of next week, it's likely to be coming from a northerly direction. We will see the low pressure that influences us over the weekend clearing towards the east, and then we end up sandwiched in between that low pressure towards the east and high pressure towards the south-southwest. If we get rid of the jet stream then and put our surface winds on instead, you can see that's likely to lead to a north-northwesterly direction in our winds, which you probably are aware is quite a chilly direction as well. Add to the fact that with low pressure towards the east drifting away, we should start to see the more unsettled weather clearing away and giving away to the more fine weather towards the southwest. The general trend for the beginning part of next week at least is, after a showery start for many of us, it should turn a little bit drier for a time, particularly closer towards that area of high pressure, so towards the southwest of the UK. And with that change in our wind direction, it is also likely to turn a bit colder for a time. May not last particularly long, with more unsettled weather likely later on in the week. But if you want a more in-depth look at what we can expect through the end of meteorological autumn and into winter, do check out the 10-day trend which Aidan put up on our YouTube channel on Wednesday. Otherwise, I'll see you soon.